Good morning and welcome to Coffee Talk. Morning after the anniversary dinner, which was lovely. Michael was sitting at the table. He's like, babe, I bought you a card and I filled it out, but I left it at the office. I was like, that's okay. It's the thought that counts. I was like, why don't you just tell me what the card said? And he was like, yeah, I don't remember. Something about love and forever. I was like, that is so romantic, babe. Yesterday I did a coffee talk on how I was in a relationship with a sociopath and how I got there. So if you haven't watched it yet, go back and watch it. But for those of you who've watched it, I was on the phone with somebody yesterday who was like, but aren't you like friendly with him? Didn't you run into him in New Jersey not that long ago, a couple of years ago, and like talk to him? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. And she was like, so I don't get it, whatever. And it led me to think about that and what I can say now. What I have realized on this journey of life is that eventually, if you're lucky, not with everyone, but with some people, you can choose to forgive them, but not let them back into your life. That is totally possible and a lot of times works for you. There was years where I couldn't even hear his name without immediately doing this. Years. But do you know how exhausting that is? How emotionally exhausting it is. At the very sound of someone's name, you immediately go to the worst part of yourself. Immediately. I have a couple of people in my life right now, when I hear their name, I go, ugh, busted can of biscuits. I can't even. I don't want to stay in that space. It is so unhealthy for me to stay in that space, to allow the mere mention of someone's name to take me to such a gross place. It ruins my whole day. I don't want to be in that space. So eventually I got far enough away from that relationship to realize that all of his behavior had nothing to do with me and everything to do with him. I watched him do it to the next girl and the next girl, and, heard things through the grapevine and saw things on social media and realized it had absolutely nothing to do with me. I was just a filler. I was just the person he slid into that spot for that period of time to emotionally drain and abuse until I no longer served a purpose. And then, he moved on to the next person, because women are like reservoirs. We are full. We are so full when we come into a relationship. We are like bursting with fullness. But when they start to drain us, and we, like, vampires would love us because we don't drain easily. And we will even keep replenishing ourselves to take the abuse. We will replenish ourselves to allow that cycle to continue rather than walking away. We'll get up every day and put our big girl panties on like, I can take it again. I can get out there and be abused and shit on again. I can do it. Oh my God, if I could make my way around this world and just hug every woman and help love her back to life and go like, honey, you can keep replenishing yourself all you want, but one day you're going to reach back on that shelf for something and there's going to be nothing left for you. He will have taken it all. But I digress, because the point of this coffee talk is to assure you that eventually you can get to a place where you forgive someone for their behavior. You're not angry anymore. The sound of their name doesn't make you want to go, right? But you certainly don't want them in your space. You don't want them back in your life. You don't want to be their friend. You don't want to be their lover. You see them at Whole Foods and you're like, hey, how are you? How's your family? Good, good. Peace. And you whip down another aisle and you go, oh my God, I cannot believe that I am here. I cannot believe that I am the person who can see somebody who broke me so significantly in every way that a person can be broken. I can see them and say hello and keep it moving. Because when you are broken, you don't think that will ever happen. You think you will love them and feel lost forever. And I'm here to tell you, it's just not true. You will eventually, God willing, if you put the work in, get to a place where you forgive them and you can bump into them and be like, hey, and keep it moving. That is the goal. So when I spoke to her yesterday and she was like, yeah, but you guys were like friendly. I'm like, yeah, because I learned so much from that relationship. Mostly what I will never put up with again is what I learned. But if it wasn't for him, I never would have found Michael and, given a guy like Michael a chance and blah, 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 and yada, 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 and babies and house and blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? So, how mad can I be? It was part of my journey. I had to go through it. I don't know why. I hate it for me because it was awful, but I survived. So yeah, I see you at Whole Foods, give you deuces, little nucks, and then I'm on my way to go buy some overpriced soy creamer for my coffee. Moral of the story, folks. The end goal is getting to a place where you can forgive them genuinely, but but you definitely can't come back into my life. Like, you can't come into my space. I'll say hello to you when I see you in public and, be civil, but like, that's as far as that goes. So I'm on to the next person that I'm harboring disgust for. And hopefully I get there. Like, that is genuinely where I want to be. A place where I no longer see a person as like a trifling, scandalous liar. I'm making that up. But I see them for someone who clearly is damaged, because healthy people don't go around destroying other people. Like, they just don't do that. So they're broken. So you got to find a way. You got to get to a place healthy for you, healthy for the world, the universe, the energy, whatever. But my point is, it can happen. I know it because I've done it. So I'm holding out hope for me that I will be able to someday apply that to the next person that has wronged me, that I am harboring ill will against. And I say that to you. It is perfectly possible to forgive someone, but choose never to let them back into your life or space again. I love it. And I love you so much today. It's Friday. Have a great day.